So, as my voice, I hope, is getting better for people. I, for the longest time, could not really speak very well. Um, but hopefully I'm becoming more legible or audible. Anyway, so, I want to talk a little bit more about my potato bin. These potatoes were started in a bin similar to this, obviously this gray one. And we started it way down at the bottom. And if you scroll back in time, you'll see where we started the potatoes. And we started them on a bed of sort of branches and stuff like that. And then some of the there was potting soil, and then we laid a layer of the cedar down. Then we set the potatoes in. And the point being is that the potatoes won't rot as they grow or grow up because they're not waterlogged in the soil. And then they grow up. And as they grow up, you go through stages. And instead of digging a deep, deep hole, and then hilling up your potato hills, you're basically putting it in a deep hole and then doing layers. And so what we did is, as we got to the top of each bin, then we added another one. And as you can tell, this is made from old junky bins. This is a pretty nice one right here. And then we took lids and we just extended up the height. So we got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers out of the first 2 sets of bin. And then this bin is actually a solid larger bin piece that we reduced in size. And of course it's inserted so that all of the water from it is running still inside the original bin, not out into the ground. So we're not wasting water. And then, so what's that, 4 or 5 layers. And then again, and it's the red cedar, our secret soil mix, which is not a secret. We have the recipe hidden somewhere online. And then, and all you're doing is burying the potato plant up to the very top of the leaves. Well, once it got to this point, the potatoes get ready to flower. Press is going to eventually die off. Now, this last layer is some soil, but then the last several inches is mostly cedar. And what the goal is we're covering up these last 8 to 10 inches all the way up into this big hill of cedar. This is all just cedar bark. If I dig down deep, see, it's all pretty much cedar bark to get way down in there. And the point of this is with the hard freeze and all, after these vines flower and then start to wither away, that's when your potatoes get ready. Kind of like your onions and your garlic and other things too. Potatoes are in the tobacco family with peppers, so your chili peppers and tomatoes. They're actually all in the deadly nightshade family. They all usually have white flowers, so you don't eat flowers, you don't eat the leaves, they're toxic. But but you can eat the fruit, or in the case of the potatoes, the tubers. And how the potatoes work is they set, as they're buried, they grow their little nodules and set themselves up and continue to spread up. And then when you dig down, normally you're digging up all these potatoes. Well, this all we're going to do is take off the level. Well, when this starts to die off, and even before it does, we'll be able to dig down in here and get what they call the new potatoes, which are the youngest and most tender potatoes, and they're underneath this very, very loose sawdust. So they don't rot, and they're easily accessible, and it's the way they are. Like strawberries grow very good in straw. Potatoes grow. As a matter of fact, speaking of a strawberry, that'll be our next project that we're going to document, is how to plant your strawberries. Because people do them various ways. I'm very picky about when I see some leaves start to get deformed wherever in a plant. I think it's best just to cull off the bad leaf, throw it in the compost or on the ground, whatever. If the leaves have spots or mildew or obvious problem like aphids, you don't want to toss them back in your soil. And all of these plants, you can't see them. They've got ladybugs, they have lacewing, and they have praying mantis. Lacewing and praying mantis hatched here is their home. The ladybugs will lay their eggs here, and this will become the hatchling's home base. It's pretty cool. I went on a frantic search the other day, speaking of Mr. Ladybug, and finally found some watermelon that actually had seeds in it. Everything's seedless nowadays. And the watermelon's incredibly sweet and wonderful. So I planted some watermelon flesh in the garden the other day, and we'll be talking about how to do that. And I'm not going to drone on too much, but I do love to talk now that I hope people can understand me. But this is the scarlet okra, which is kind of small here. It does really good in Corpus Christi. But these are cucumbers, pickled cucumbers. So they're doing pretty well. So I've got 2 more of these red bins over there. And these bins are pretty great. You can pick them up for just around $5. And we drill holes in the bottom and sides. And they drain pretty well. So we've had a ton of rain. And that's why the pumpkin plant looks a bit beat up. It's been raining hard. And sort of a lot of water. Even for the containers, it's been very tempting to put more holes in it. But then when the summer gets hotter, it will lose too much moisture at once. But it's well drained on the sides and bottom of each container. Well, we hope. Oh, and we'll be harvesting the tomatillos next. And we're going to make salsa verde. And we have these. Oh, and good news, viewers. I found my gigantus unicorn beans, our magic beans from Jack of the Beanstalk. So this won't be our only beanstalk. I will show you the most amazing beans. If you go back a couple of years, you'll see I've grown these beans before, and they're amazing. They originated in Asia. I have a whole story behind them. This is scarlet okra, and you can tell by the stalk. It's a great nurse plant, actually, for my magic beans. I also call them magic dragon beans. Another project is over there. Well, now that I've dropped you in my plants, don't worry, I'm going to rescue you. I just don't know where I dropped you. in the patio somewhere, I think. Hopefully not down a pallet hole where there might be a snake. Urgh. Goodness. Sorry, people. I've lost you in here somewhere. I think it's gonna record the bird singing until I can find you. So this is the birds while I search.